Hi everybody, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I just felt convicted to make this video because I've been going through, well, not just me, but my family has been going through a really rough time. Yes, in terms of financially, but also with responding to God's call and being very intentional in responding to our problems in terms of, lack of finances and all that stuff. But that's not exactly my point. My point, that's just to give context, but I'm at a point where the finances are really low. We're sort of desperate. In the worldly sense, we would be desperate, but we're trusting on God. Now, during as I was praying just now, today, I was sent, or someone messaged me, giving me an opportunity for a project that would probably, there would be money. There was no number attached to it yet, but there definitely would be money. It was definitely a sort of work opportunity. Now, I am someone who came from something that I thought was God's calling, but may have been, or may not have been. But, I've left that this year, and I focus on something else that I am now sure that God is calling me to do or to pursue. Now, this came up, something that was from my past, or that would be like, or my past self would love to have had, and it matches sort of my situation now. I need the money and all that stuff, but I prayed really, really well. I am in the third day of a 3-day fast. And the point of this fast, the point of, this video even, is to be able to hopefully teach you or tell you, or just to give you some pointers of how to discern God's voice. Now, in my situation, just, today, the offer came, I read it, I had just left. I'm gonna just tell you. I thought I was called by God months ago, and for the past years, to be an online business person, or entrepreneur, specifically in design, web design, marketing, and all that. And now I'm being called to something else, but trying to pursue marketing, social media, web design, helped this now calling that God is calling me to do. Now this job comes up, this offer comes up for a project-based web design gig, basically. And I need the money, all that stuff. But it was in my past. That's not me anymore. I only stopped a few months ago. I know that I'm rusty, really rusty when it comes to web design. I know I could probably pull it off, but here's the thing. I saw the timeline of the project. It was just a month, and for seemingly 12 to 15 sections, I knew that I couldn't do that. Now, was I gonna push through and get the money and just pull all-nighters just to pursue the project that seemingly fell on my lap, and probably ruin my sleep, ruin my peace? I could have. In the worldly sense, you would. Within worldly conventions, you would pursue that thing because, hey, what the heck, it's there. But I put it up to discernment. I asked God, is this, even before I opened the brief, the project brief, I asked God, if this is for me, it just landed on my lap, seemingly from you. But, this also could be from the devil, who knows? If this is for me, everything you've taught me will align. So I opened the project brief, I saw the timeline, it didn't align. So I passed. I said, it's not within my capacity, the timeline isn't within my capacity, so I have to pass on this opportunity, and I thanked him. And all good. And then, now, in the car, I had to run an errand, I had to buy something from a store. I was having these thoughts of, maybe I should, maybe that was wrong, maybe that wasn't God's will. Hey, that was given to you maybe that was given to you by God. You should have pursued it regardless, and God will sustain you and will give you the skill to be able to do it in a month and all that stuff. So maybe you should go back and tell him, hey, I'll take this. But then I've learned recently that whenever these thoughts come up, whatever thoughts they are, I just offer it up to God, let him do with it what he wills. After I did that, I heard God spoke to me in such a gentle and peaceful voice that gave me a feeling of peace and relief. He said, that was the right decision. Continue on. Or something like that. I basically heard that was the right decision, don't worry. And my goodness gracious, the relief and the gratitude I have for God right now, it's just okay. So that did two things. Number one, it assured me that I made the right decision. And second, it assured me that God's hand is with me and my family and with us, and that he is gonna push us through this and help us through this. Now, the point of me making this video is to tell you, if you want to discern God's voice in your life, you should do three things. First, pray. Ask God for the grace to be able to hear his voice. Second, fast. This is basically these two are the basic things if you want to hear God's voice. And if you want to really go through life being guided by him and being open to his graces. Number three, remove all other noise. And this includes phones, social media, TV, anything. Now, the reason why I say those three things is because when we are in spiritual warfare, when we battle against the principalities and powers, when we go through our spiritual journey, we have three main enemies: the devil, the world, and the flesh, our flesh. So, when we pray, we're asking God for the graces, necessary graces, and we are praying is a battle against the devil as well, not just a request from God. So, and we are also calling on God's powers and Jesus and all the angels and saints to go against the devil for us, with us. Now, the second fasting is against ourselves, the flesh, and also still against the devil. Well, really, the three things are against the three methods, the three techniques or things that I told you before, will battle against all the three. So prayer battles against the devil, the world, and the flesh. Prayer battles against the devil because we are praying against the devil and to God, for God to help us against the devil, and other things, of course. Fasting helps us against the devil through going against our own will and the devil's temptations. And we go against the world by going against the typical conventions and practicality that the world offers. Food, satisfaction, not even necessarily bad things, but still worldly things that could impede our journey with God. So, the devil has been trying to stop me from making this video, but I will not stop. Basically, to recap, the three things that you're trying to beat when that are impeding you from hearing God's voice is the devil, the world, and the flesh. I am getting extra spiritual warfare right now, so the devil, the world, and the flesh are gonna stop you from hearing God's voice. So the three things to beat them are prayer, fasting, and tuning off the noise of the world through good works. Now, prayer beats the devil, the world, and the flesh. The devil first, through battling against the devil through prayer. The world, because the world does not like prayer. The world thinks it's useless. And the third, the flesh. It isn't natural for us to pray. It isn't natural for us to pray. In terms of our fallen human nature, it is natural for us in terms of our fallen human nature to pray. We are not comfortable with sitting still and praying to something that we don't see. Now, we do this all the time, but our flesh will go against our will go against our minds, which has been written by so many theologians, by so many saints already. We all know this. So prayer beats that. Fasting beats the devil because it disciplines ourselves, so it leaves us stronger and more capable and less vulnerable of the influence of the devil. It beats the world, because the world offers so many indulgences and so many useless, or not even the necessarily bad things, but it goes against the world in that way that we're saying, we're basically, when we fast, we're saying, I don't need the world or what the world offers. All I need is God. That's what Jesus did when he said, man does not live by bread alone, but by every utterance that comes from the mouth of God. That's what he meant. Or, that's part of what he meant. And fasting beats the flesh because it's going against our flesh. It's going against our desires, our natural desires, but those desires can be mangled and manipulated into doing ungodly things. And doing good works and tuning out the noise of the world will beat the devil, because the devil uses the world to go against us. And it beats the flesh because the flesh, our natural fallen human nature, naturally loves the world. It loves the wiles and the wonders and the amazing, awesome things of the world. Not so awesome things if we really know what we're talking about, but it beats the world. It beats our flesh because our flesh naturally wants to tune in non-painful things or instantly gratifying things, which being godly and being Christian and being anti-world removes from. But being for God, following God's will, is very much non-instant gratification. So that's the basic 3 things that you need to know to beat the devil, the world, and the flesh, and to be able to hear God's voice. You need prayer, fasting, and good works so that you can tune out the worldly noise. But that's it for me today. If you liked what you heard, please consider subscribing and watching my other videos. That will really help out in bringing the algorithm, pushing my videos out to more people who need to hear it. And if you think you know somebody that might need to hear this, send it to them. It would be great. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.